What a pod, what a pod, what a pod, what a mighty good pod. Welcome back to Love Loud's Truth Carpet Podcast with your girl, Yaskin. Yes, y'all. And I'm here with my best friend. Yes, tell him your name.
It is me, Monie. We in here, season 4, episode 1.
Yes, we made it.
We back. Did you?
I missed you. I missed this mic.
It's been a minute, baby.
It's been a long time.
Yes, Mike. How have you been, Mike? You've been stored away in a box.
At least you ain't dusty though.
Right. We've been taking care. We take care of our things here at LoveLoudd LLC.
Yes, I'm so happy to be back. It feels like it's been like 10 months, but Monie said it's not been 10 months, so it's probably been 4. But, everybody needs a break,
Please. The show be needing a break.
Yeah. But, because Monie does a lot, editorial stuff and all that.
A lot of things.
But we're so happy to be back in y'all's ear for another season. I can't believe it's 4 seasons. I used to be so scared to do this podcast thing, but we're here.
And we still doing the thing.
Yeah,
that's it.
16 times 3 plus now. We're going to have those many podcasts.
Right. Yeah, this is actually episode 49 overall.
Ooh, we should have some balloons for 50.
We should. This is episode 49. So y'all have been rocking with us since IG.
Yeah.
So when we didn't have no video.
Oh yeah, that was
the sound quality wasn't as good because we didn't really know what we was doing.
When my Wi-Fi was messing.
Right. We was recording in 2 different states.
Yes. But we're here.
We here.
And we're here. And we're
still.
Here.
Yep, we here.
Y'all like Monie's hair if you're watching?
Yes. Right. Y'all like y'all hair? Y'all like her hair?
Yes.
Right, like y'all look like twins. I hear it all the time when I introduce our business to new people and they see the picture of it like, are y'all twins? Are y'all sisters?
Are you sure you don't got the same daddy?
Right.
Yes, I know who her daddy
y'all
should
just check. Y'all
should not my daddy.
The timeline and make sure that y'all do not have the same father. We are not related.
Yes, we already spoke to Jerry. We're not sisters.
Right.
But we're best friends.
Yes, we are.
With a podcast. And welcome back to our podcast.
Right, welcome back.
This is the first episode of our 4th season. And if you're new to the podcast, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back.
Right.
And we are going to jump into this podcast episode with our episode rundown.
Dang, already? Shoot.
Check in.
Clearly, it's been so long since we've done the podcast, and she forgot to even check in with me, see how I've been doing and living in this world since we've stopped recording in September. Like, how dare she not check in? See, for those of you that's been here, y'all know that's what we do. And for those of you that are new, she messed up.
Yeah,
she messed up. There is no going back, and we're not recording this over. This is what happens. This is what happens. Slow down.
Not every time.
Slow down. This is what happens when you don't slow down and pause.
This is what happened when it's been a long time.
Shoot, it ain't been that long. It's written down on the outline.
I'm trying to not use it. Okay, so check in. It's been since September?
Yes.
Yes. How have you been since then, ma'am?
It's
February now, y'all.
It's been a lot of turbulence. There's been some turbulence, a lot of learning, a lot of growing, a lot of healing, a lot of realizing. There's been a lot that has been going on since September, but I can honestly say that I'm happy. I'm happy regardless of the things that, may have happened, things that will happen. I'm learning how to navigate things differently. Check myself when need be, allowing others to remind me, of who I am. When I forget that I am that girl.
Okay, Beyonce.
I'm that, yes, girl. And so when I forget, I love having people in my circle, being surrounded with love and people being genuine around me and keeping it real. When I'm not truly being there, being there for myself. So yeah, since September, I have since gone back into meditating. I'm trying to, well, actually, since January, I've been going back into my daily meditation, but since September, I had fallen off for a while. So, like, one of my main things was going back into meditation because I felt the difference from beginning of last year when I was meditating every day and how it made me feel. And then when I started doing it like every other day, once a week, and then I just kind of fell off completely and how that affected me. I was like, oh no, I have to go back to how I was living my life when I had a consistent routine of having my meditation every morning. So I'm back to it. Took baby steps from September, but now I'm going back to doing it daily every morning when I remember. If not, I do it sometime in the afternoon or the evening. Sometimes my mornings move just a little bit too fast, and I'm trying to work on slowing them down so I can actually pace my day. But yes, that's what's been happening since September. No exciting news or anything, you know. Nothing has happened. No really big news, but here we are. I'm still here.
That makes me think about this tarot card reading that I listened to last year. I forget what part of the year it was, but they were like, if you find that right now you're struggling financially or to budget, do you pay attention to the pattern in the year or time? What's going on in your life when that happens? Is it always around this certain period or whatever? So that helped me last year to realize, yes, it is always towards the, like when my birthday hit and then the holidays come, I always feel financially stressed. So I'm wondering for you, if you find, just like this year, pay attention to the pattern of when you do meditate, when you fall out of meditation, is it like you're always good at the beginning of the year and then, or the summer comes, like what happens to disturb that? Maybe you'll find out.
Yeah, possibly. I'm gonna try to keep track of it and honestly see what happens because I fell off, I would say April, May-ish. Because even when I went on vacation, when I went to Aruba in April, I meditated while I was on vacation. So I was still consistent while I was away.
You meditated in Atlanta too.
I did. So I'm not sure what happened when that cycle occurred. Maybe because it was school ending. I was like, it's summertime. I'm outside. I'm having fun. I wasn't thinking too much about the relaxation portion. I was probably more focused on the having fun portion because I felt like I deserve this. Yes. But I cannot forget to my self-care. So gotta keep the self-care and have fun.
Yep. Balance.
Yes. I was just about to say, because I'm definitely learning how to rebalance my life. I need new balance.
Sneakers?
Yeah, sneakers too. I need New Balance and New Balance.
So for me, since September, I turned a day older, because not a whole year, but every day I get older. I got older, celebrated the holidays with family, went through some annoyances with certain people in my life, friends, family, everybody, but
in the club getting tipsy. Sorry.
But I've continued to have therapy sessions, also been opening up to friends and some people who I really wouldn't open up to. I just don't like the idea of when people ask me what's going on and saying okay, like especially since I wrote a poem that I did. It's called For Nothing, I think that's what it's called. And with that it's talking about like the reason why I learned to say it so I'm okay, or to not go into depth about anything because people, you know, shoot you off, or sometimes you think people don't really want to hear. But in the experiences that I've been having recently, the friends that I've spoken to do want to hear. Or now I'm getting comfortable with talking with my mom about certain things. So it's been helping me to either feel like, yeah, you're not crazy, you're not tripping, or yeah, you are tripping, check yourself, kind of thing. So kind of that's helped me to balance things out with myself. So nothing major either for me has happened within the last few months. Just working, saving money, minding my business, barely drinking water, but
there's gonna be lots of traveling, at least for me, in 2023.
It's always traveling for you every year. So
no, it's not.
Yes, it is. Last year you were going somewhere every month until a certain month came.
I deserved it. I worked very hard.
So
I did.
It's
But
Monie's brand to travel.
It is, and I should be paid to travel. Manifestation.
Okay.
Y'all heard it here first. I'm going to get paid to travel and be doing my thing here and there, everywhere.
Okay.
Getting paid. Mm-hmm.
All right, my glasses look a little crooked, but
that's your head.
Nobody asked you. Anyway.
Honest friend.
Anything else you want to say for your check-in? No.
Is there anything else I want to say for my check-in? That possibly. Don't be rude. Actually, no, I don't have anything else to say.
Okay. So we can mosey on over and have Monie do our check-in. I mean,
no. See? That's what you get trying to. Now you try to cut me off from doing the check-in and forgot that it's supposed to be the rundown. But then when it's supposed to be the check-in, she tried to do the rundown. Yeah, go ahead, grab them notes while I take us into the rundown for the show. Okay. So for those of you that don't know, you just joining us for the first time, the rundown is where I give you just a little tidbit of what you can expect on this here episode. So in our icebreaker, we are going to be answering the question, what couples do we aspire to be like? Who we looking up to for relationship goals? So we'll be answering that in the icebreaker, then heading on over to Suite 223. It will be me delivering a poem. Because I want to bless your ears. You haven't heard me do anything in a minute. So I have a little something special from the past, a blast from the past for your ears. Then heading on over into our hot topics. Yes, we still have hot topics. We are going to be talking about standard expectations and dating, what that all encompasses. What does it mean? What does it mean to us? When do you talk about certain things when you're dating? We're in the dating world, okay? We're in the dating world. It is February and month of love because of Valentine's Day. So we're talking about dating. Anywho, moving right along. In our dorm story segment, we are going to be sharing the perspective of a young woman that we found online and what she believes is her standards or expectations. One of those things. She's going to let us know when we're going to give our spiel on what we think she says. And then, of course, last but certainly not least, you have to stay tuned in all the way to the end so you can get the community news so you don't miss out on anything that LoveLoudd has coming. We might have some giveaways. We might have some events. You know, we might just have some thank yous. But you got to tune in to see what we're going to do. And that is the rundown for season 4, episode 1. Bow.
Yes, thank you.
I haven't lost my touch.
She hasn't lost her touch.
I get better by like wine. Yeah. Brought to you by LoveLoudd LLC's Poetry is My Love Language mug, available on the website now.
Come through, ad.
That's what I'm drinking out of. Poetry is My Love Language mug.
Okay, y'all. So now that you have the rundown, which is basically Monie highlighting what we're going to get into for all the new listeners, we're going to mosey on over now to our icebreaker segment.
Know what that was, but see, this is why y'all gotta watch the video version. Of course, listening, you know, I don't want you watching and driving, but when you have the opportunity, you should watch. It's very entertaining.
I think so too. All right, let's go to our icebreaker.
Icebreaker.
Okay, y'all. I don't know why I do this like spirit finger.
I don't know, but I probably think you need to speak up so the mic can pick up your voice.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, y'all. We are in our icebreaker segment, and if you're new, this is where Monie and I play games, have discussion, just break the ice, make you feel, you know, a little cozy during this segment. And it's because this is the way that Monie and I met at the illustrious Clark Atlanta University.
Yeah, it's true.
So for this podcast episode, our question is, what couple do you admire and why? So if you're watching on YouTube, you can answer down below. But during this podcast episode, we can't hear or see you.
Right.
So we're going to answer this question today. And Monie, take us away.
I'm taking us away?
Yes.
Sure. Well, this is an easy answer for me. For those of you that know me already know what I'm going to say.
I know what you're going to say.
So my couple that I admire and aspire
to be
like,
yes,
is all my parents, my mother and my stepfather. And for those of you know me, I don't say stepfather, but I'm saying stepfather for those that cannot differentiate that I have two fathers. My mother is married; she's not married to my father. So here we go. So my parents, my mom and my dad, I grew up watching their relationship grow. I've seen some good things, I've seen some bad things. I've seen them grow in love. I've seen them come together to take care of me and my sisters. I've seen them compromise on certain things. I've seen them argue. I've seen them come to resolutions when it comes to how to deal with the children or just coming together, period. And I think it's also, I aspire to have something similar, not exact, because I don't believe that any relationship is perfect, and I don't want to have their exact relationship. I don't think that's possible.
Yeah.
But for something to look at, just like a picture frame, and be like, that's nice, that's something I would love to have, something like that one day. I look to that because even in some smaller moments, like when we went on vacation and just watching them like laugh and talk together and holding hands after, how long they've been married now? Oh Lord. They got married in 99. So just watch, and I was 9 years old when they got married. So just seeing them grow like over all of these years, like I want to be able to have someone in my life that I'm able to have conversations with, who even after I'm mad, we still find ways to find a resolution. We still have to talk. We still got to pay these bills. We still need to take care of the children. We still need to take care of house and home. And then just watching like things that I've known that they have talked about and wanted, and seeing it come into fruition in real life, and like moving from California, now moving to Arizona, building a house, like just things that I've
being
known
on
that YouTube. Things that they've talked about, and now I'm seeing it happening in real time. I'm like, yes, that's what I want. And knowing that they've been working towards things that they didn't have as children and making sure that we had it, I aspire to do those things too. Like I grew up, I had a great life. So I know when I have my family, I'm going to make sure that my children have more than what I did. And then knowing that they're able to appreciate the life that they have just based on what I'm able to provide for them. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to the Parkers. Y'all are the couple that, I aspire to be. I love y'all. Y'all definitely give me hope when it comes to finding the person that I'm meant to spend the rest of my life with.
Yes, snap it up, y'all. Thank you.
That was the poem, by the way.
So for me, for this icebreaker segment, I would like to start by saying that growing up in the 90s, my family mostly seemed to consist of women. There were men in our family, but not really a lot. But everybody that seemed to be in my mom's circle, and even like my grandma and all them, the women are the ones who seem to have the kids around, and then the men, we'll see them sometimes, but not really. So that's how me and my cousins that you guys hear about all the time, we become close because the moms in the family are the ones that brought us around. I say that to say, growing up, I didn't see a lot of couples. I didn't see my great grandma and her husband. They're still married and until he deceased, like he passed away. But legally they were married. My grandma and my grandpa, they were divorced. My parents, they're divorced. And then other people in my life in the 90s, they were all separated from their boo thing. So I didn't really see a lot of relationships. All I saw was Bart and what's her name, Marjorie or Margaret, like The Simpsons. I saw stuff on
Homer?
TV. Yeah,
Bart
Homer
was the son. But anywho.
But you get my drift. So the relationship that I first witnessed and that like my eyes started to like glitter towards was my brother. That's the first person that I've seen experience relationships, but get into a relationship with his now wife, and like buy her flowers upon flowers for just no reason, or like our family start to blend with hers, celebrating birthdays together, holidays together, them living together, having babies, getting married, like doing different things together and balancing life. And that led me to feel comfortable to go to my brother and ask him questions about dating, because it's something that I didn't witness when I was growing up. And if I did witness, it was like people playing like rope, like jumping in and jumping
out,
out. Yeah. Even with like seeing people in my family deal with the same joker over and over again, but with my brother and his wife, it's been consistent, and that's the first relationship that I'm like, I want that. Like, and then with talking to them, it's like, oh, we may look great, but we go through our stuff too. But you know how to keep it, like Beyonce and Jay-Z, you keep it in house, whatever's going on, and you're working through it together, and it's still like it's still working, like, you know, and it's like them having the kids and how smart and bright they are and respectful, just different things that I see them doing, balancing life. Whenever they go through things, they like supporting each other. And then my brother was the one that taught me too that a relationship is not just about love. Like you can love anybody, you can fall out of love with people, but what matters is, can that person hold you down when you fall? Can you get through these obstacles? Like at the end of the day, do you still want to be with that person? Like, can you champion through life with that person? And yeah, like every time I think about quote unquote relationship goals or things that I aspire to have and be like, I just like, that's the couple that I admire.
Yes, absolutely. Love to hear it.
Yeah.
I think it's great to have people in our lives that we can like look to and not have it be something that may come off as unrealistic, because we don't know them, like having a celebrity couple as couple goals. Knowing like everybody goes through their things, but we don't know them personally to ask questions and really like dive deep into how do you get through certain things, or what made y'all decide to do this. Like you can't ask those questions, and you can look at them and say, oh, they look like a great couple. I'd love to, you know, I'd love to match with my boo or something like that. But beyond that, there's not much that you can really do unless you know, read into interviews and the things that they say and stuff like that. But I think it's great to have like a personal connection to someone that you can sit down with and have a conversation with and understand like what they went through to try to help you figure out how you want to navigate your relationship. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree, because it's easy to see somebody else's grass look mad green, but you found out that they had the fertilizer, which will be their therapy, or they went through an argument, they went through a storm, but right now you see like the greenest of green.
Right. Smiling at every picture.
Yeah, and it's been helpful for me in my dating experience, because I'll get mad the smallest thing, like, oh, he ain't want to hold my hand while we were walking, and then to know from other couples, I don't like holding my girlfriend hand either, or he don't like holding my hand either. So it's like we romanticize relationships to be this perfect gleaming thing, and just to go through life and go through dating and find out basically every couple is unique. You make up your own package, and even with different people, it may look like one thing with Tommy and it look totally different with Tyrone, but it's what both people are bringing to the picture. But yes, I agree, it's been helpful for me, all the couples that I know, to talk with them and sometimes complain with them and just know, oh, that's happening with me too. That's normal. Yeah, you'll get past it. It's normal. Like, oh, okay, cool. But yeah, my brother and his wife and your parents. Yeah, I was gonna say Tiana Taylor and her boo thing, but I went with the real couple that, not the thing real, y'all, but the couple that I know in real life, because it's closer to home, and like you said, I can have that touch of like, help me,
right?
Kind of thing.
I mean, maybe one day you can call Tiana like, hey, girl.
Yep.
I need some info. I need some help.
Yes.
Let's chat about this real quick.
Yep.
Hey, that is our icebreaker.
We still don't got a soundboard, y'all.
We do not have it. If you want to invest in us, then you can give it to us. Please. And thank you. Please, please.
And thank you. Okay, let's go on to our next segment, which is Sweet 223. Hey y'all, welcome to Sweet 223. If you're new again to our podcast, this is our poetry segment, and we have a special guest coming to the mic to bless y'all's ears. Her name is Simone Loud. Welcome, Simone, to the stage, y'all. Welcome.
Snap it up, everyone. Snap it up, everyone. Snap it up. Yes. So the piece that I'm going to recite is actually one of my poems that I wrote in my collection of poems from my teenage years. I wrote a collection of poems in high school that I found. The list goes on and on and on. Never titled any of them. This is actually poem 1. And the reason why I chose this poem for today, just thinking about us stopping our podcast in September, taking some time to grow, coming back. So like growing as a podcast, growing as a business, growing personally, taking a break and getting back to it. I feel like this was very fitting to encompass bringing it back. All right?
Okay.
All right. So let's see what 18-year-old me had to say. Ears closed, yet eyes open, unable to read lips. Tragic. Legs moving in some type of direction. Where? Who knows? Took too long to get back to this way, this vibe, this feeling, this power. Gathering all that's left inside, trying to decide. Just make decisions. But my mind is racing, heart is pacing, confused, yet trying to break free. Out in the open, ready to fly, but with no wings. Thinking, how did I get here? Should I have listened? Where do I go? Can't ask anyone that question but myself. But this way, this vibe, this feeling, this power has taken me to a new place. So I got to make the best of it, grow from it, learn from it, and be happy. Dig deep inside where my dignity lies, where my pride resides, where my emotions collide, and breathe. Bring my body to unity, back to reality. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, 18-year-old Monie.
I love digging back into old pieces and being like, damn, girl.
So before we ask you if you can remember why you wrote that poem or where you were mentally at that time, the line that stands out to me is something about flying, but you don't have any wings, or your wings are clipped or something. It made me think of basically support, like you're journeying through life, you're trying to get through, but you don't have what it takes to get to that destination, whether that be the people, whether that be the experiences, whatever it is, you don't have what it takes to get there. So you have to dig deep within, and all the things that you listed out of, like the things that's within you to push and to help you to reach your goal, is what came to mind when you were sharing, especially that one line.
Now, ma'am, you know, I do not remember when I wrote this. The crazy thing about all the poems in this collection from when I was a teenager, they were in a notebook that I just had with me all the time from school. So we would have like open, like free writes for like my theater class. So I probably wrote it at that time from a journal prompt, or just based on how I was feeling one day. I was like, you know what, let me just go ahead and jot this down real quick because I'm angry. Or this is gonna make me feel better. I feel kind of sad right now. So it was from a bunch of different things. But as I was saying before I chose this piece, just thinking about how, like, year after year, even day after day, week after week, we're not the same person. We go through so many different things, and we find new ways to travel through this thing called life. Like the way that we journey, like what may have worked for us before may not be the same. Even going back to what I said earlier about my meditation, like maybe I thought that, oh, I did meditation for 100 days. I'm good. I don't have to do it anymore. But then realizing how much it truly did help me, I got to go back to it. Yeah. Me taking it out of my daily routine started to make me feel weird. Even with me working out more consistently, like at first it was hard to get into it. It was like, I do not like doing this. I don't like getting up in the morning. But now it's getting to the point where I don't go, I feel weird. Like I need to be at the gym. Why am I not working out today. So just being open to learning new things about myself, always being open to learning things about other people, because even when navigating a relationship, you're not the same, that person's not the same. In friendships, in working relationships, dating relationships, family relationships, we have to learn how to navigate those things, because we're all growing and changing. Our perspectives are different. The way I felt last week, you know what, I have right to change my mind. This is how I feel this week. Especially when understanding why you're making that decision, on why you choose to essentially change who you are, because no one is meant to be the same. And I encourage everyone to be open to growing as a person through different avenues, mentally, physically, spiritually, doing what you need to do for yourself in order to grow those wings that you need to journey into the next chapter of your life. Because you may not have those wings yet, because it's not time for you to fly to the next thing. You need to figure out what you're doing right here.
Yeah.
Get through that. You'll get your wings, and then you'll get to the next phase.
Yeah. And even that stage of right here is important, because if we skip that, then it's going to possibly hurt us in the long run. Everything that we're going through matters for the steps that we're taking to get to the road or the destination of where we want to be.
Yes, absolutely. Even in business, this podcast, like, we just learning things along the way, doing new things, trying new things out, reaching out to new people. We can't stay the same. You grow because you try new things. You can't grow doing the same thing.
Right.
You can't grow doing the same thing. The world is changing. We changing. You changing. It got to change. I mean, if you choose to be stagnant, that's on you. But everybody else gonna be moving while you still at the back.
Yeah. Okay. And that was it for our Sweet 223 segment.
Yes.
So thank you so much to our guest poet, Simone Loud.
Yes,
It
Simone.
was a pleasure having you.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. I love being on the truth carpet. It was wonderful.
Right now, thank you so much. And if you're listening, if you know any poets, or if you're a poet yourself and you would love to have an opportunity to sit down with us and share a poem, talk a little bit about yourself and your piece, let us know. You can DM us on Instagram or Facebook, or you can call me. Or you can email us to let us know, hey, I want to be a part of your podcast or whatever. There's no formal way. You can just say that you're interested in being a guest on Sweet 223, and we will contact you back. And that's it.
The deets. All right. And now, without further ado, it is time to go to
Hot Topics.
I missed that too. Let's do it.
Let's go. Okay, so are you ready to get into some juicy topics? Because it's hot time.
Hot topic like my tea.
Okay, so our topic today is dating expectations and standards.
Ooh, child.
That is a hot topic on the internet.
Hot.
It is hot.
Very hot, especially those trying to live this soft life.
Oh yeah. You said something about the other day. I forgot to look.
Don't stress yourself out. Live your soft life. We can talk about that another day.
Okay. So for this segment, when we talk about things like that, we like to break it down by talking about the definition. So we're talking about expectations, dating, standards, all that stuff. So we have to know what dating means, what standards means, and what expectations mean.
Mm-hmm.
Don't mind my order, y'all. I know it's all over. All right. So when talking about dating, the Webster definition is to date someone means to make a usually romantic social arrangement to meet with them. As can be inferred from the definition, dating is generally considered to be a form of courtship and consists of social activities, whether it's with the couple by themselves or with other people, like a group of couples. Mm-hmm. Also, when you're dating someone, you're not necessarily serious about them. So you have to prioritize other things like work, friends, everything like that. But when you're in a relationship, your dynamic with other people might change entirely, because basically that person that you're in a relationship with their level of importance gets higher.
Right. They appear now.
Yeah, they're high on your priority list.
Right. When you was dating them, they was here.
They was
I'm
regular.
my sister, I'm hanging out with my best friend, and then I'm hanging out with my boo. But then it's like, oh, we in a relationship now. I'm hanging out with my boo. I might hang out with my best friend and my sister. I'll see her next week.
Yeah. the level of importance, the level of like excitement changes when whatever. And plus, when you're dating, what they should have in here, there should be options or like
you should be dating multiple people. That's why I say it changed by the time you turn it into a relationship, because you focus on that one person,
right? And
opposed to the pickings.
Exactly. So that's why they missed that part, but they should have specified that part of like, even if it's not friends, work activities, which they have here, is the other people too. Like, dang, well, I gotta take Sarah on a date because I just took Simone on a date and then I took Yaya on a date. So I gotta be fair with them. But now, like, you start to cut off people. Okay, I'm finding myself yearning for these people. So that's how like you cut them off. So that's the dating part.
Right.
All right. So now we're talking about expectations.
What to expect when dating.
Yes. So expectations, and expectation is a strong belief that something will happen in the future. So it's what you think, what you want. So an example that I saw whilst reading was that like your boo tells you, hey, I got a surprise for you. And y'all never talked about like what a surprise looks like or what it entails. So you like, oh, he probably got me some Gucci shoes, or he probably like about to propose and got my friends, or like, or if you don't have that kind of expectation, you might think it's like this big grandiose thing, balloon, confetti, whatever, even if it's a small dinner at home. Mm-hmm. But then you get there and it's like, oh, we about to go to Benihana. That's the surprise. You had the expectation. You drew up in your mind the strong belief of what's going to happen, right? So if you had that same example, a standard is something that is used as a measure of a norm or a model for comparative evaluation. So the standard may be you go to Benihana all the time for dinner, and then he says, okay, we're going out for dinner. Your standard is at Benihana. Don't take me to IHOP. Right. Or don't take me to the bodega to get dinner. That's not our standard, That's just a example.
Right. I also think too, like based on the definition, it's like my standards are things that I can, these are non-deal breakers. Like these are deal breakers for me. I almost said that wrong. Like my expectation, like, I might say it. My standards, let me say this right, so I don't want to confuse somebody. My standards are, I'm not compromising on that.
Right.
But my expectations, some of them may not be realistic,
yeah.
And I have to figure out like what works for me and the person that I'm dating. Because if they a slow texter, a slow responder, me needing them to respond quickly every time, that's something they may not be used to. So that's something that they would have to work on in regards to that being an expectation for me.
So what a cheat code is basically standards, the quality, and innate, meaning no wiggle room. Like it's straight to the point. It is what it is, and that's it. I ain't talking to you about it. It is what it is. Period. Expectations. Okay, there could be some wiggle room. I can't get mad at you because you ain't text me at 9:00. You text me at 9:05. Like, right. There's some. Okay, we could talk about that. It's about your action or being able to change.
Right. So from lifegoalsmag.com, I have a short excerpt I want to read in regards to expectations and standards. It reads, expectations entertain certain ideas about how we would like situations to turn out or how we would like other people to behave. An example of an expectation could be that I expect the person I'm dating to communicate with me every day throughout the day. Standards are a set of guidelines or ideas of how you will conduct yourself. For example, I set the standard that I always let a friend know where a first date is taking place so that I have a way home in case the date got uncomfortable. That is a standard I've set for myself. If you and your partner's expectations and standards match up, then I see nothing but smooth sailing for the two of you. However, if they don't align, here's where trouble comes to play. And then I have one other article excerpt that I want to read. Give me a moment while I pull it up.
But while you pull that up, even so, the article one that you shared with me, I read some of it, and it was saying basically, a lot of the well, dang, that's going to get into one of the questions that we have. I'll wait.
Okay, and then I'm going to get into a little deeper into standards, and then we can jump into the questions that we have.
So can I say something while you go?
Yes.
All right. So from this medium.com, it says standards are factual. They're baseline of quality that drives effective actions and good decision making. Expectations are internal and can lead to disappointment when they're incongruent with what others deliver. So basically, if you have an expectation, you're allowing that other person to either fulfill it or let you down. So I have a cousin, she used to say, no expectations, no letdown. So she tried not to have expectations for things. So if, for example, Boo says, hey, I have a surprise for you, try not to think of like what you would expect that to be, because then you possibly effed up with the surprises because you thought it was going to be this big thing and it's regular degular, and you never expressed what a surprise was to you. So with what the last thing that you shared, which if your expectation and standards don't match with the person, then it may not be smooth selling or whatever. You have to communicate with the other person what your standards are, what your expectations are, and see if there's wiggle room for what part, and even make up, okay, you're not wiggling, I'm not wiggling, deuces, or okay, there's push and give here, it's not that important to me, blah, blah, blah.
Yes, absolutely. Because I'm telling you, what you create in your mind will mess you up every time.
It will.
Okay? Then this is the second thing. This is from USC Work and Family Life, article on WordPress.com. Relationship standards are minimum requirements. That is, a person feels certain qualities must be present or must not be present in the case of unwanted behaviors. And failing to meet these requirements results in a deal breaker. On an emotional level, these standards are inflexible. For example, Noah has always wanted children, but falls in love with Alicia, who hates children. Noah can forsake his standard, marry Alicia, and agree to not have children, but cannot honestly stop himself from wanting them or feeling resentful towards Alicia for depriving him of a family. This illustrates how dropping below a standard carries a heavy emotional cost. Although setting high expectations for a relationship may limit opportunities, a person can decide that being single, even lonely, is preferable to feeling angry, sad, hurt, distressed, and unfulfilled due to unmet needs. That was a mouthful, y'all. Yeah. Take that in for a second, but I wholeheartedly agree. Okay, I do.
All right, so let's jump into our questions. Monie.
Yes.
How far into dating do you make your expectations known to the person you're seeing?
You know, that's a topsy-turvy for me, because
topsy-turvy.
It is, because in the beginning of dating, I honestly don't have expectations similar to what you said, like to keep myself from being disappointed. I'm just getting to know this person. So it depends on how far down the line they get, then I'm like, okay, now it's time for me to set this expectation. I can speak recently to someone that I had, we didn't date too long. It was probably like a date or two. But the way that they communicated with me, if I saw that this could possibly go somewhere, but in order for that to happen, you need to communicate with me as such. You need to invite me out ahead of time. I'm not available last minute.
Right.
Like, that was an expectation that I had to set right away, because I noticed that they were hitting me up frequently to hang out when I wasn't available. And then it became an issue that I wasn't available when they were available. I'm like, hey, honey, I'm just not sitting around waiting for you to call me.
Right.
You need to set a date, a time, a place, or ask me when I'm free in order for you to set a date, a time, a place.
Yeah.
So that I can let you know when I'm available. I have other things that I do. I work, I have a business, I have plans that I make with my friends and my family. things that I set time and space to do for myself that I don't intend on canceling for someone that I just met. Like, these are standards and expectations that I have for myself, and then this is what I'm laying out for you. And those expectations were not followed. So you can only imagine what happened in that dating experience. I had to give the deuces. It's like, that was a basic expectation for me, just to give me a heads up on when you want to hang out. Even if you don't know for sure like a place, at least ask me when I'm free.
Yeah.
You can't expect me to be available when you're available. That ain't cool with me.
Yeah. No, I see that. It's also respecting that person's time. Like, I do like spontaneous things. So if somebody says, oh, this movie came out, you want to go see it tonight, and I don't have anything to do and I like you, then yeah, I'll go. But you can't do that every time.
Right.
Because then it's like, if I did that to you, how would you like it? But then I know me, I'll get annoyed, and then I feel like I'm always on his time. But even aside from always on his time, I need time to be able to get ready, pick out an outfit, whatever it is that I want to do. So just make me feel special in knowing you set time to plan this out, opposed to, damn, I'm bored as hell, let me contact Yaya, see what she doing.
Right, let me see what she doing. You want to hang out tonight? You want to Netflix and chill real quick?
Right. So I don't have a specific time either. But when thinking about like my dating experiences, it seemed like it seemed to be when something kind of went the way that I didn't like it to be. So like this guy expressing that he's into me, he likes me, he wants to see me, but you don't set no time to see me, or we only seem to talk when I hit you up, and that I don't like that. Like, my expectation is there some balance. Like, either you text me sometimes, like, I don't have to be the one to text you first every time. Let me know that you're thinking about me too. Let me know that you want to hang out with me too. So I'll set the expectation of like, dang, it's been a couple of days since I heard from you. Like, what's going on here? Like, I need the person that I'm dating. This is so hypocritical of me, but my thought is, the person that I'm dating or getting to know, I want to hear from you about like every day, a text like, hey, have a good day. Or every few days if it's just in the very beginning. Right. I say that's hypocritical because I do know, like, I don't be talking to people that much when I first.
Right. That's what I'm saying. In the beginning, it could seem a little, that's why I just kind of like go with the flow with it until something happens and I'm like, hey, just so you know, I like this, I don't like this.
Right. Because sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, because in the beginning it could be a turn off to try to tell, to give somebody like these guidelines and things that you like and dislike. Like, hold on, wait a minute, get to know them as a person, see what they give you,
right,
and then let them know whether or not that works for you. Yeah, because you can't give somebody too much at one time.
Right. It's like going on a date for the first time, somebody dropping a contract in front of you. It's like, I don't even know you. Like, why are you giving this to me? Can we get to know each other first before we spill this out? But I think maybe for the other person on the other side, is like, I don't want to waste no time. I done dealt with and dated so many people, so let me lay out my cards right now. So it's kind of like, that's what they could be thinking, but it is a huge turn off. It's like, whoa, slow down. I'm just trying to get to know you.
But even with
don't turn around.
What? I'm just saying, even with that,
slow down.
Be quiet. But I'm saying, even with that, with somebody feeling like they're just trying to get through the dating process real fast, there's still a certain pace that you need to be at. You can't, I feel like just trying to rush, period, is a turnoff. Like, we can't have babies tomorrow. We're not about to walk down the aisle next week. Like, there just has to be, pass some class to it. Like, there's people that, gotten married within 4 months. Like, that's a thing. But you can't meet somebody when they get married tomorrow. There's still a level of getting to know someone within the process.
But even if you do that, you don't know what their expectations and standards are. That's too quick. Because then, I think the dating journey allows you to change those things up too. So I don't know, whatever.
I mean, you might have had a certain expectation and then saw that expectation was way too high. It was too much, because every person that you dated was just like,
like a plane falling down.
Baby, you might want to wiggle on that one.
So how do you even come up with the expectations that you have for dating?
I've come up with my expectations through dating because I started dating at a young age. So, of course, when you first start dating, you don't really know anything. But once you start to realize the things that you're going to accept and the things that you're not going to accept, that's where the expectations come from, to be honest, from experience.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have a list straight off the bat when I was 16, 17 years old.
I did.
It's just me going through the experiences of being in a relationship. I think the only expectation I had, or maybe it was standard, was sex. I think for me at a young age, it was just sex, like my limit on not having sex until a certain time. I think that was the only thing that I had. But other than that, I was just like open to getting to know. I was young, wanted to have fun. Let's hang out. What is a relationship? What do boyfriend, girlfriends do? We're going to the movies. We're going out to eat. You're going to bring me back home by 11. Like,
yeah.
It wasn't really too much. But after being in a relationship over a certain amount of years and then realizing that is disrespectful to me. There's only so many times that I can say something about a certain thing and then you don't reciprocate how I feel on that. Or not being willing to talk about certain things. Like, it's a bit of a turn off. Like, I expect you to communicate a certain way. I expect you to be open to listening to me and how I feel about something. And I will, I will reciprocate the same. Like it'll be as far as like 50-50 communication, listening and speaking. Like I don't want it to seem as if like I'm talking your ear off. Like I also want that other person to be able to express how they feel too, in whatever way is comfortable for them. Like I can't expect them to talk when I want to talk, but we gonna talk. we got to lay out the cards to talk about the issues. It's gonna happen at some point. We can't sweep it under the rug.
Yeah. So it sounds like as you've been dating, you started to make your list of expectations.
Absolutely.
Okay, so mine is the opposite. I wasn't a girl like in my teens who had boyfriends. I had one little boyfriend in middle school and that was it, really. I liked boys, but I never had a relationship. So for me, it was watching TV and seeing couples on TV, whether it was a cartoon or whatever. And just like an idea that I drew up in my head of what a relationship should look like, what communication should look like everything is just like perfect glamorized relationship is what I drew up. So I had the list. Like I did watch that show Chili Once Love or something like that. And she had this long list. So I had my long list of what I expected to be in my relationship. And but what helped me to, I guess, come down from floating in the sky was dating. Actually getting out there and dating and seeing, okay, because I remember I was dating this guy and out in public, he was like the most social butterfly person, like fun in the parties, like, oh, I just loved his energy. But then when I'm with you by myself, like we dating, it's like live and up, like, yeah, like you, why are you just so dry? Like you don't want to talk to me? Like, am I like? So I'll be like, hey, and his face, like, come on. Hi with me. He's like, I'm just chilling. I'm like, but you won't be like that with your friends. Like, what's up? What is it about me? So the expectation that I had was that he's just always this lively, buttered person, and reality was like that's out in public and partying, yeah, but I got to turn that on, and sometimes it's fake because I'm putting on. I'm really tired or whatever. But yeah, like just going through life and dating people helped me to see, okay, this isn't really realistic, or I got a job. I can't text all day throughout the day or be on the phone all the time. Or like I remember I used to ask my friends while dating, hey, do you talk to your blue thing on the phone every day? Because I thought something was wrong with the person that I'm talking to. Like, he don't call me. And now, like with me now, I'm like, I don't need a phone call. And I don't want a phone call every day. Just text me.
Like, some type of communication.
Yeah, some type of communication is important. But yeah, like my list was long. And I just, with the reality check of actually putting myself out there, that list has come down.
Yeah, I think that makes a difference too, because like just saying something, like I don't need a good morning text every day. Like that's not something that I need. Like just say something of the day, hey, how you doing? I was thinking about you, or hey, hope you slept well. Like I don't need to have every single morning, good morning. Don't need to have it. Like that's just something that I feel like is very cliche, very Only person that texts me good morning every day is my dad. Hey, Dad. And I appreciate his good morning text. He's been sending them for a few years. So, like, but as far as like me day, that's not an expectation of mine. But there are some women who want that good morning text. I want to know that you think about me when you wake up in the morning. Tell me good morning.
The reason why I don't like it, I remember someone that I was with in the past, I said that as like, this is what I expect. Like, it's 9. I know you up. I know you got class. Why didn't I get a text message from you? Like, what the heck? Like, I'm supposed to be your boo. And then when he started doing it, it became a turn off for me because it was precisely 9 o'clock every day. And I was like, that's not what I meant. And I'm like what, even whatever time it was just on the dot, like all the time. And I was like,
schedule it.
Thank you. I was like, did you set your phone to text me? Like, this is not coming from you. Don't do that anymore. Just text me when you want to at this point, because that was my expectation. I don't want it anymore.
I don't want no more. Be careful what you wish for.
You got some wiggle room, okay? I don't want that anymore. Like,
wiggle on all.
Yeah, if I will shake that off, please. I don't want that anymore. So, like, and it too still could be like I have expectations now, but then going through the dating and relationship process now, I'm like, we got some wiggle room. It's not carved and etched. This is like in pencil, a number 2 pencil. I can erase that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we talked about expectations. What about standards?
Like how soon I talk about them?
How do you come up with them? Yeah, sure. You can answer that too.
Honestly, as soon as the first date, but I feel like with standards, they kind of come up in conversation. Like, you want to have kids? You see yourself getting married? Like, just asking, well, there's certain ideas on certain things that I know for a fact, well, if it's a no, I don't need me to waste my time on that. Like, yeah. Nice to meet you. It was a lovely evening. But I feel like having discussions in regards to what my standards are, just finding a creative way to bring up the conversation. So I know why am I going to continue dating, going on dates with someone that I know that my standards are not being met. There's no need to even entertain this. I'm not looking for a free meal. I'm looking for someone that's looking to be in a relationship and hopefully have it last for a long term. Like, I'm looking for a long term.
Make it last
forever and ever. Karaoke sometimes, y'all.
Yes.
So yes, I would say standards as soon as a first date. Just being creative way that you do it though. Like, you can't just be like,
listen, these are my standards, all right? Take out your pen, your notepad.
You gotta want kids, at least 3. Want to get married at least a year after we date, and I don't want to be engaged longer than like you can't. Like, you just have to be cool, calm, and collected, bringing up the conversation. Like, as you're getting to know people, you'll know. I feel like at least by first, second, maybe even the third date, having certain things brought up in conversation, you'll know if they're meeting your standards or not. I don't think you would have to go past the third date. Most of the time, it's the first one for me. But sometimes you don't have to even go past the third date to realize these ain't my standards. You know, you ain't got no goals, no aspirations. You don't want to do nothing. You don't aspire to do nothing. I remember I also met someone, because I remember once I was like, is this something that I should wiggle as far as like being a standard? Like, I want someone that's interested in traveling. And I went on a date with someone and I was like, nah, I don't really get out much. I'm not interested in traveling. And I was like, would that be something that I would be like, should I make that a complete deal breaker? I'm like, I don't mind traveling.
That's a standard for me.
I'm like, I don't mind traveling. It's like, I would want to do some things and travel with my partner. If that's not something that they're interested in doing, then it's kind of, at some point, it's going to annoy me that they don't want to travel, or at least get out of where they've been. I'm like, dang, you never been to that state, and you have no interest in visiting them at all.
Right.
Yeah. I really had to think about it. I was like, I love traveling. I'll go by myself. Then I had to think back and I'm like, nope, it's still going to be my standard. I need somebody. You don't have to travel with me all the time, but there will be times I want you to travel with me, and that should be something that you're interested in doing.
Yeah. I think for me, I want to feed off of what you said and then answer the question. I've never thought of that, but innately, yes, that's a standard for me, because I do like to get out and do things, and I don't want to, like, as we get older, you're still going to have your friends. We're still going to be friends, but we're going to start to separate from each other, because you're going to have your boo thing, I'm going to have my boo thing, families, whatever, however that looks. And then the same things that you want to do with me, you're going to want to do with that boo thing. And I have a friend now who's married, and even talking about wanting to do certain things together, like traveling. She had to talk to her husband because they travel once a year together, and they had to figure out those dates. So I want to be able to have that same thing with my boo thing. Like, okay, not just because my friends, but let's experience life together. Let's be able to have some stories that we can share together. What the hell are you doing while I'm gone? Like, like I can't be gone and you at home all the time. Now, like even like regular day life, like I do things with my friends that I don't do with my boo thing. So with the same thing with traveling, I don't want every single traveling experience to be with him. I want to be able to have those by myself sometimes or with my friends too. But dang, when I want to travel, if I want to go to the Poconos and get snowed into a cabin, I don't want that. No offense, I don't want that to be with you, but I want that to be with my boo.
Even I think that'd be real cute, but whatever.
I mean, if it was a girl's thing,
they have a nice little wine tours up there.
But that's what I would say regarding traveling. I think that is a standard. But to answer the question, when do you bring up standards? Or how do I come up with my standards in a relationship? The standards are all about what I need regarding my safety and feeling like I'm your girlfriend. Like I have standards with my friends and everything, but what's gonna help me know that you're my man and I'm not just kicking it with Simone, but you look a little different. like
how you
yeah, like even with dating, like if you know me, I have a close friend named Demola. Like I call that my twin because we have the same birthdays. He's my guy friend. But when we are together, we don't hold hands, we don't kiss, he don't like put his hand in the back pocket. He don't pay for the meals, stuff like that. But if you're my boo thing, my boyfriend, my husband, whatever that is, the standard is I should feel like I'm your boo when we're together. I should be walking on the inside of the side. That's what any man. That's a standard. Even if you demola a friend, whatever. If you're a man, you should be on the outside. That's a standard for me. Another standard is like make me feel like I'm important to you. Make me feel safe. I shouldn't feel like I don't know if my life is gonna be threatened when I'm with you, whether that's by you or by somebody else. Right. A standard is if we get into an argument or we don't see eye to eye on something, don't ghost me until you get over your feelings. You need to communicate with me. Hey, I'm still upset about the other day. I just need X amount of time or whatever it is. Like I shouldn't be worrying like, dang, are we still dating? Does he still like me? Like communicate that with me. So I think it's still weird if you come to the first date with each other and you're like, these are my standards, because it's still boom, boom, pow. But a lot of times, realistically now, most people we meet online or we meet in person, and then the first brunk, whatever the word is, y'all, the first big piece of getting to know each other.
Trying to say brink? First what?
Brink, whatever. The first part of getting to know each other happens through the phone. Like it's not really often that you meet someone, exchange numbers, and then you're on the first date and you ain't talked beforehand. So sometimes in those conversations too, like Simone said, make it smooth, but make it happen. Like you should be communicating these things, but it shouldn't feel like a questionnaire to that person. But I think by the third date that everything should be laid out, because by the third date you should know if you like this person or you should want to continue. Not if it's like we got a date on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Like it should be some time in between.
Because y'all are communicating, at least talking, texting. And the next time you don't see each other, things like that.
Yeah, but the standards are like, if there's no wiggle room, then you shouldn't wait 6 months down the line, y'all boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever time down the line, y'all boyfriend, girlfriend, and then you find out that the basic necessities that you need in a relationship, this person can't give you or this person doesn't want. Don't wait and say, I'm in this to have a boyfriend, I want to get married, I want to have kids, blah, blah, blah. And that person, it's a hard no. Hell no, I ain't getting married ever again. Or your standard is, I don't want to be a stepmom. Like people have that. Like, and then you get into a relationship, and then that person has kids, and you don't even know until like it's 10 months later, and you find out that he got a kid.
Not me finding out you got kids. And like, why would you lie? That would be definitely a deal breaker for me. It's not the fact that you have kids, the fact that you didn't tell me. Like, why would I stay in a relationship with you? No, absolutely not.
But then I also leave that to the person, which will be me in the situation. Did I even ask? So some people aren't.
I always ask.
Right. So I always ask. So then I can't say, well, I never asked. And even too, before, like, I wouldn't ask about, like, I would ask, do you have a girlfriend? Do you have anybody that thinks that you're your girlfriend or whatever? But I would never ask, do you have a wife? I never asked. So did he lie?
No,
he hid it.
He hid it.
But I never asked. Right. So that's what I learned. I have to at least ask something. So then I can't say, like, I can't beat myself up for not having asked. But still, like, if it's a standard that you want these things, like, I want a man with his own apartment. Did you ever ask if he lived in his mom's basement? Like, you have to, like, at some point you have to ask these things. Like, what's a non-negotiable for you?
He might be down there saving up to have his own place. You know
right, but yeah, talk with him about it. But then, is it a standard then, or is it an expectation?
Right. Differentiate the two, y'all. Differentiate the two. Where can you wiggle and where we stop? Where we wiggle and where we stop.
Okay. So talking about wiggling, is there flexibility in what you bring to the table in order to meet someone else's standards or expectations?
Flexibility what I bring to the table?
Yeah.
Honestly, I can say yes, because it has to go both ways. Like, if
she's a Pisces.
I go with the flow a lot. Like, if I have an expectation for the person that I'm dating to be open to certain things, I can't close myself off and be like, no, I ain't open to that. No way. No, I'm a closed book. Like, I have to be open to certain things too. It's no reason you can't have certain expectations and then have no expectations for yourself.
Yeah.
So yes, there is flexibility in things that I do bring to the table, because I'm not perfect, and some things that I may do that one person may have liked while I was dating, the next person may not like the same thing. So it's about getting to know one another and understanding do's, don'ts, the maybes, you know, where you willing to wiggle.
It's a wiggling
and where will you stop? But yes, I honestly can say that I am flexible, because I want to make sure that in looking to be in a long-term relationship, that I am doing my best to make sure that I'm showing, like, okay, like, I'm here for the long run. Let's see what we need to do to make this work. Like, I'm not going to close myself off from the way that they like to communicate, or close myself off from something they may be interested in. Let me go ahead and try it. Let me go ahead and try it. Or at least let me check you out doing it, then let me decide if I want to try it too. You know, like, I'm not doing that. Race car wrestling. I'm not gonna watch wrestling. Like, I've dated someone, and you know, I watched a sport that I never watched before, and I was actually into it. And I was like, oh, what's the rules again? Like, and honestly, being interested in something that your partner is interested in, like showing interest in it, I promise you, that'll have y'all get a little closer. You know what I'm saying? Like, it helps build that bond between the two. Like, you don't have to be in love with the thing, but over time, you might fall in love with the thing too. So it's just kind of like, just being open to certain things. Yaya may not like basketball, but she'll come to a basketball game with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, things like that.
It's fun. It's like the social aspect. Like, I'm not into football, but I understand it because I used to cheerlead for football. But I like what's that thing that happened in February? The Super Bowl. I like Super Bowl parties. Like, it's so much fun going to it and seeing people yell and get mad. It's just entertaining to me. So I like that. But you ain't gonna catch me on Sundays and Thursdays and whatever days that football come on, just watching it by myself. That's not what I do. But when I date and my partner likes that,
flexibility can help you build a bond.
Yeah,
I believe.
So I think for standards, it's a checks and balance system. The same way that Monie shared with her poem earlier, if you listen to the Sweet 223 segment, we're human, we change. Throughout life, things we may have thought that we wanted a cat, but now we really want a dog. Like, things that we set for our life, whatever, that changes. So my standards, every now and again, I do a checks and balances. Like, do I really want this? Maybe not. Or, I thought this didn't matter, but it actually does. So it's not like, since I was a little girl, I wrote this down, it's never ever gonna change. Because one thing that was my standard was, I have to be his first wife. I have to be the only mother of all his children, or whatever. Like, this, we gotta have all our first together. Like, but then going through life and having dated people who were dads, I realized it wasn't a standard. It was something that I wanted, which will be, I guess, an expectation in this conversation. But just like with my experience of seeing that person or those people be dads to their kid, it's like, oh, this is so sweet. And it brought out an attraction to me. Like, if you could take care of your kid that way, then it made me feel safe and like, oh, this is a beautiful thing. So that's an example of a standard that I had that I kind of knocked that off the list because maybe it doesn't matter as much as I thought it did matter. But regarding the expectations, that's like more often I think that I'll do my checks and balances with too, because I could have an expectation that when we're walking down the street, I want you hugged up on me like you my book bag, like
not walking down the street. All right, left.
Yeah,
right,
like penguins.
Right.
Yeah, like that's what I want. Like I want you to kiss me at every time a red light comes, you gotta kiss me. But then it's like, okay, like you don't gotta do that every time. Like you too on me. Like it's an expectation that I thought like I did want a partner who like we're all cozy up and cute in public or whatever in my eye. But then sometimes I see couples and I'm like, ew, that's too much. Like I don't want to be that couple. Or I did want matching outfits and all this stuff. And then when I saw like this is what I expected because I saw it on social media, because I saw it on TV. So I thought this is what couples do. But then is that what Yaya wants? Even though you see these couples doing these things, shoot, Tiana Taylor and Iman, they could be getting paid for that. To wear their pretty little things, matching outfits. I'm not getting paid, but I think I see that because that's what I expect because I'm sorry, that's backward. I expect that because that's what I see, but do I actually need that to happen? So I saw that happen, cross that off. Opposed to a standard, it takes longer to cross things off. So just going through certain things and seeing certain things like, okay, I'll make that. Then it's mad uncomfortable, like being up on me like all the time. Man, how get off of me? Like I want it sometimes, but that's for me to communicate to my partner. Okay, can I get a hug? Because I do like one of my word languages is physical touch. So I do need that sometimes. Even my mom, I'll say, can I have a hug? And it just helps me. So but in public all the time, I don't want to be that couple.
Physical touch is at the bottom for me. That's crazy. Like, not that I don't want to be touched, it's just
you don't need it.
I don't. I like affection in other ways.
Okay, so do I continue to date the perfect guy who's basically like on paper he's like got the perfect job, perfect with his family, perfect income, lives by himself, car, whatever, like in your mind, oh, physique is just on point, honey, but there's no chemistry.
I can only do it for so long. Like I would try my best. I would really try my best. But being the person that I am, there has to be some chemistry there. We gotta laugh. We gotta be able to like partake in activities together. Like that's where the chemistry is built. So I would try to build the chemistry. Like, you know what, this may be what the Lord is trying to tell me. Everything I asked for, but he's missing this. Let's see if we can build it.
Yeah.
Now, how long? That part I need to figure out. I haven't been in that situation as of yet. So if I ever get there, it just have to see along down the line, like where can that chemistry be built?
Right.
I feel I wouldn't be able to spend too much time. Like 6 months, that's too long.
That's what I was about to ask you.
So
in the beginning, when we meet people, in most instances, they seem like great because they're putting out the mask of what you want them to see. And then typically as time goes by, then you see, okay, they're not that. But 6 months happen, 5 months happen, and they're great. Like, it's, oh my God, like so debonair, so perfect. This is what I had on my paper regarding my standards, my expectations, and damn, he's so fine. God. But you don't feel like you could connect with him.
Yeah, but connection is important though. Like, if we don't connect, am I just in it to, are we business partners? Like, why? I want more than that. Of course, it's not just built on like love. Like, relationships are more than that. If I can't connect with you on a mental level, connect with you on a physical level, like how can I expect to have children with someone that I have no chemistry with when I'm laying down with them in bed?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, there has to be some sort of chemistry. There can't be 0% chemistry at all. Like, I don't even think how that's possible. Like, there had to be some type of chemistry if you were attracted to me enough to want to even ask me to go on a date. Like, there had to have been something there. But then after dating for a while, you just turn to realize, like, this is just not going to work for XYZ reasons. Like, not looking for the perfect person, but I think that person has to at least we have to be able to connect. I like to have fun. I like to go out. There has to be some type of chemistry there, some type of connection, similarities, and being able to learn from each other.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I've seen people like in my life that perfect on paper, look good as hell, whatever. But when talking with them, it didn't seem like we connect. So it's like, dang, that's a bummer because like,
right,
you will be the perfect candidate, but we're not in sync. So,
and what
my answer is no.
They say you get what, 80-20? No, 80% of what you. What is it? Is the 80-20 rule? Like, you only get 80% of what you want in a person, or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it is. Something along those lines. But you're not going to get 100% of everything that you want. So you have to realize like what you're willing to compromise on, where you gonna wiggle,
yeah,
and where you gonna stop. It's the same thing. It's just like, so is chemistry a standard or an expectation?
It's a standard for me. I can't be with nobody that I'm not connecting with. Like, the paper part, you're gonna look good to everyone else,
right,
and look good to me. But if I don't feel like what I was saying earlier, if I don't feel like when I'm with you, I'm your girl, then what are we doing?
Exactly. No, I have to agree.
Yeah.
Chemistry is a standard. We have to connect.
Yes. Okay. So some people, their families have standards and expectations for them for dating. So how do you deal with that? Your standards you have for dating versus the standards that your family have for the people that you're dating.
I don't think my family has any expectations other than don't bring my ex back home.
No, standards. So your family set standards for this is who Simone needs to be with and date, and this is how it needs to look.
I've never had that standard set for me. I think my family is open to me knowing that when I bring someone home, that we're gonna vet this person and see if they are right for our sister, daughter, cousin. Like, we're gonna vet.
So what makes them right?
I don't know. We never had this conversation, to be honest, and I haven't brought him home in so long. It's just kind of like, we'll just see what happens when we get there. I think it's like, as long as I'm happy, if they're making me happy, like, I think they'll be able to tell. They might. I'm pretty sure they'll tell me if they feel as if something is off with the person, sure or they don't think. They'll give me their opinions, but I don't think they have. Yeah, as of right now, I can't say that there is a specific standard for who I should and should not bring home.
Yeah. So when I was younger, I thought there was like, there's this, again, TV and social media, things that you see typically around the holidays of when families, people bring people home for the holidays around their family. So when I was younger, I used to think, dang, my family's not gonna like if I brought home somebody who's not of the same ethnicity as me, or had a certain job, or things like that. And some of it too is from like me hearing them talk about other people. So like, oh, Todd brought home a Spanish girl, or like one of my aunts, when I was dating this guy, she looked at him and she met him or whatever, and then to me she said, he work at Foot Locker, don't he? And I was like, how do you think that? She said, because he looked like he does. The funny thing is,
not he looked like he does. That's it.
The funny thing is, he did, but
did he have on his work shirt?
No, he didn't. I don't know, but she hit it on the nail. She's like, he look at Foot Locker, don't he? And I kind of felt some type of way, like when that happened. Like, it kind of made me feel weird. So I know that my family's perspective, which is kind of like, I hate this, but at the same time, they made me who I am. So I hate that what they think should be for me matters to me. But I think it goes in correlation to what you said too. My family knows me. They knew me. Most of them knew me for 30 something years. So they know what's good for me or whatever. And sometimes, like, when we're dating people, we see them through lusty eyes. Mm-hmm. And then most of our friends and our family, they see them clearly. So some stuff that they say to us, we might not see because we're all in love and like, and things are fruity and everything right now, but then when we get mad, now we see what our family has been talking about or whatever. But I don't know what my family standards per se are. Like once I erased what I thought it should look like, and I just started to ask my mom, like, "Hey, mom, would you accept me if I was if I like girls, or would you accept me if would you be accepting to me dating somebody that's not black, or how would you feel if I dated somebody who worked at Walmart?" Like just throwing those questions. All of them was she don't care. Like she loves me, she cares about me as long as the person is not hitting on me or treating me in any ill way, you know. But I do like ask her about people that I dated or my experience, like, what do you think about this person or do you like them? And it's always in the beginning, it's kind of like, I like them for you. But then as time goes by, if it's been something that's long, then she'll say what she likes about that person or anything like that. So I do know that my family would say something.
My family ain't gonna hold nothing back.
Yeah, but some people on the other hand too, like I wish that they could not wait until after. Like, my brother, this funny, silly little thing, for example, he was like, "Oh yeah, his name was Basil. You should have known nothing was gonna come from that." Like, how you gonna? You can't judge anybody off their name, like just because they work at Foot Locker or just because their name is a certain name that is it means it's not gonna work. Like Basil deserves some love too. Maybe not from me, but still. But I would hope that my family and close friends, if you see something with somebody that I'm dating, that you wouldn't say wait until the end and say, "Oh, I knew that was gonna work out because," because then now I feel some type of way about you as my friend. Like, so you let us date for X amount of months or years, and you saw that he was always scratching his booty and then touching my face, like you ain't say nothing. That's unsanitary. I'm saying that for a silly example, but for whatever the case is, like you're supposed to be my rider. Like when it comes down to I'm getting married, I don't want anybody standing up there with me if I have a wedding, standing up with me there with me, and you ain't never prayed with me. I ain't never complained to you about or get advice or some type of support about that relationship or anything like that, because those people are supposed to be behind me for my wedding and supporting me, like making sure that whatever through thick and thin we're gonna stay together. So when I call you and say, "He get on my freaking nerves," blah blah blah, you remind me of why I love him. You help me calm down. So if you can't do those things, then you shouldn't be up there. So family, friends, you may have your own standards, but at least know mine, and then know if that person is meeting those standards that I have. Or if you see something and you think, I don't think I think Yaya deserves better, say something to me. Don't just stay quiet, because the end is not the time to wait to say something about it.
No, absolutely. That's why I'm like, I know for a fact. So I've only ever brought one person home, so I know when I do bring someone home, they're going to assume like this is legit somebody that my daughter sees herself having a future with, or my sister sees herself having a future with. They're going to vet the shit out of this person. Like I can only imagine. It makes me a little nervous, but I'm like at the same time, the person I choose to be with, they're gonna be all right. They're gonna get through all the turbulence, all right, through all the questions, all the interviews. Because I'm like, I'm the same way. So I expect my family to be like me. Like if my sisters brought somebody home, hello, how you doing? I'll be ready. I'll be ready with all the questions. I'll be like, all right. And by the end of it, like, all right, he cool.
Yeah.
He got through the hot seat.
Yeah.
He all right. Now let's see how he, as long as he treating you well, other than that, like let's see how this goes.
And I do like, so I brought someone home and I do appreciate the way that my family and friends played it out, because in my mind, I had that fear. Like I remember driving to certain places or being on my way to certain places and being nervous, like thinking it's gonna be like name, age, size, like running down.
You got a job? How much you make?
But the way that it went, it was so like smooth, and I'm like on the other side, like looking at him, like, is it going okay, kind of thing. And then like hearing from him and the other people of like, it's cool or whatever. It goes the same way as what we talked about earlier of when you go on that first date, it shouldn't be, "So where you work? All right, do you have any kids, any dogs?"
It needs to flow.
It should flow like a regular conversation. So yeah, it is scary, bringing home somebody, but knowing that you vetted them first and then bringing them to your family.
Right, because that's a big ass step.
It's still nerve-wracking. Okay, let's see if I have another question for you. I
Ooh.
don't. Yes, we are done with the hot topic segment, which means we can head on over to
Dorm story.
yes, dorm stories.
She forgot what it was, y'all. That's
No,
why
I
she
didn't.
looked at me.
I had it right there.
That's why she looked at me. She forgot.
I looked at you because you kind of hesitated, so I was wondering what you're gonna say, but I had it right here, so I knew, obviously.
All right. Let's move on.
Let's go on.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? Hey, it's been a minute since you heard the tune. Hey, we back in.
Yeah,
It's been a minute since you heard the tune. Hey, we back in. We in the dorm. We in the dorm. We in the dorm. About to tell you a story. We in the dorm. We in the dorm. We in the dorm. About to tell you a story.
It looks like you're doing this.
Little
Little chicken dance.
Yes, little remix for the season 4.
Yes. So now that we're in the dorm or whatever,
Yes.
what we finna do?
We are about to give you a video clip from the shade room.
Okay, so this says TSR, great debates. Is this on something, roomies? Okay, so basically, let's just play the clip.
Yes, play the clip.
All right.
I expect a man to pay for while I'm dating him or we're in a relationship. All dates. Like, sir, you're courting me, you're dating me, like, you should be paying for the date. I don't pay for dates, so what are we doing here? Why would you ask me on a date if you're not gonna pay for it? That doesn't make any sense to me. Now, I know you don't want to look at my crusty nails, and my nails are never crusty because I'm a model, so I have to get my nails done for shoots, and like I usually upkeep my nails once every 2 weeks. So you got to be able to afford my nails to be done once every 2 weeks. You just have to stay neat. Honestly, when it comes to hair, I have like that wash and go hair, but still, products are expensive. Like my conditioners, my leave-ins, my detanglers, my co-washes. Like hair is expensive, so I'm gonna need you to front the bill on that. You know, like you need to help me out. Now, if you guys don't already know, Ubers are a given, a must. Like I do not pay for my transportation to these dates. You must get my Uber. That is just the standard. I don't like looking like a bush monkey, so waxing is a given. I feel like nobody wants to see that. So yeah, you got my wax, right? You got my wax. Down the line, I'm not talking about the first few dates, but eventually you're gonna have to pay my rent. Like girls got bills to pay, and I am too feminine to like pay for myself. So I mean, I do that now, but like if I'm with you, why would I pay for my own bills? Oh no. Here's some things I expect to be.
So that was a mouthful, y'all.
It was.
All right,
It was
so-
up at the top.
All right, so just so y'all know, this was posted a couple months ago, and we're gonna do this without, you heard the audio, we saw the video, but we're gonna do this without basing our responses on how she looks, because that's a different conversation. And I have,
And they was tearing her up in the comments.
yeah,
Okay.
they're tearing her up in the comments, and I've heard people discuss it before, but we're gonna focus on just what was said. So Shawty want her bills paid. She want her bush monkey to be waxed.
Nails done. Hair.
No, nails done every 2 weeks. I don't even get my nails done
That
every
part.
2 weeks. Nails done, not just her hair done, but the hair products to be bought. So the shampoo, the conditioner, the pre-wash, all that stuff. She wants him to be able to pay for that. The dates, the ride to the date, the ride back home, just miscellaneous things she wants to have taken care of. Basically, she needs everything to be financed by whoever she's dating. Not even a relationship. Whoever she's
dating, y'all. Dating. Not married. Not in a relationship.
Yes.
But maybe dating is relationship to her. I don't freaking know, but
that's a lot.
We can't ask.
Okay.
So.
Ooh, if I were a boy, I would not like her and anybody like her run me down those expectations and lists. What does that even have to do with the relationship? You sound like you want a sponsor, and that's not what I'm here for. I'm not here to front your bills and make sure that the basic necessities, what it sounds like those are your basic necessities, are being sponsored. That's not what I'm here for. Are you looking for somebody to love you and care for you and play games with you and go out to eat with you and those kind of things? And
No,
meet your
she looking for a
family?
sugar daddy. She looking for a
Right.
sugar daddy.
Right.
I better go to sugarbaby.com.
Right. It's just like, for me, it would be nice to have somebody Apple Pay me money. You know, I'm at the salon or whatever. You know, I'm at Target buying Taraji P. Henson shampoo, whatever. Like, whatever it is that I need. You know, I'm at the gas station. I get a alert on my phone with the money.
A kind gesture.
Right. Or whatever, like, that gesture is fine. But do I need it? No. Because I was doing all those things before you even got here. If you're not, this is the other side. If you're not being able to support yourself in that way before the man got there, is it fair for you to say that's an expectation for somebody to provide these things to you?
But apparently, according to her, she already pays for everything, especially when she mentioned her rent. She's like, I'm not paying for it now, but she feels like when she's dating someone that they should be paying it for her.
Yeah, but it also sounds like
why
everything else regarding hair, nails, makeup, Uber, all those other things are what she wants up front. But then she said down the line, she's going to expect you to start paying for her bills.
Like,
so,
that doesn't make sense to me. And she's a model. Like, those are things that you already have those things taken care of already. Why do you need him to do those things? If that's how you make your money, if you a model, that's your job. So it's like, you should be providing those things for yourself. And you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
You don't need to do that. That's for you. That's for work. That's for your job.
Or the modeling agency, if you're really a model, should be spotting you some money or reimbursing it or putting it on your taxes.
Right. I'm just, as far as like paying for the dates, I'm here and there because I'm the type of woman I like to pay for dates from time to time. If he lets me. That's a whole nother story. But it's just kind of like, he pays for first, second, third date. We go out again. I'll pay for the date. Or at least let me pay the tip. Because there are some men that will not let a woman pay at all. But like, if I'm treating, maybe it's birthday, special occasion, like I would like to also, reciprocate that. Show my kind gesture, treat him out to a nice dinner from time to time. But at least the tip to give for dinner. But I don't have an expectation of him having to pay for every single date. It just seems to just happen that way. Honestly, I don't know. I feel like for men, I shouldn't say it comes as a given. I should find a better way to say that. But I feel like for most men, they have an expectation for themselves to pay for the date. If I'm saying that correctly.
I'm not gonna hold you. I do expect, it's not a standard, but I do expect if I'm going on a date with somebody, then they're gonna take care of that date financially. Because
if they invited me.
Dang, can I finish my statement? Because you invited me. that was that because you invited me. I've never asked a guy, I've never had it in my experience to ask a person out for the first time ever. I may say, oh, I'm excited to see you or whatever, but I never initiated a date. So in those situations where I'm being asked, then I do expect that when the bill comes, you're gonna pay for it. I don't do that fake. I used to.
Like you're reaching into your bag.
Yeah, I don't do the little fake reaching into my bag, but I do like, okay, I don't have a number. It's all on how I feel. So if I feel like, okay, it's the second date, maybe I'll extend an invitation, or he pays for this and I'll pay for that, like something like that. So my latest dating experience, the first probably 2 dates, he paid for everything that we did. And then I was like so like excited about him and looking forward to going out with him. And then on the radio, they were advertising Broadway tickets for Tina Turner. And it was like around that time, there was a special going on. So I was like, dang, I would love to go with him. So I bought them without him even knowing. And I let him know I got us tickets to go see Broadway. So I do it that way because I have had experience too where the person that I'm dating, they said my dad taught me to not let a woman ever pay for anything. So no, you can't pay, and he wouldn't even let me pay for the tip. And that's appreciated, but sometimes in that moment it was like, well, dang, like I can do some things too, because for me, I don't want somebody to always like have one up on me and say I did everything for you kind of thing. So I do like to sometimes like get tickets or say, let me know what you think about this. I'm gonna get the tickets for it. Like I don't even try to give space for you to do that because I like to give. I'm a giver. I like to give gifts. I like to do stuff for people, but it's not expected. Now, what I would say is an expectation, but not a standard. If you're asking me out on a date, I would expect you to make sure that I have a way to get there. Like I've been asked, hey, do you want me to come pick you up? Or just asked, what's your address? I'll come pick you up. Or told, what's your address? I'll come pick you up. Right. And then for me, dating was not safe. Dating was not safe in the space of you know my address before a certain amount of dates happen. So I'll say, oh no, it's okay. I have a car or I have a way to get there. Just let me know where to meet you at. That's worked out for me. But if I didn't have a car and I live in Jersey and you want me to meet you out in Harlem or something like that, you should still make sure that I have a way, even if you don't want to drive from Manhattan to Jersey because you got to go backwards in that way, then at least offer, do you need an Uber? Do you need anything?
Right. Put a little something on the gas.
Yeah, know? Do you want me to like spot you some way? Like ask me because it costs tolls. And like some people I've heard, they do want you to split the bill. Like we're going Dutch. I don't know you like this. This is just our first date kind of situation. But you, for example, if he lives in Manhattan, you want me to come to Manhattan to meet you by where you work or anything because it's convenient for you. You ain't telling me that, but down the line I learned that it's convenient for you. And it didn't cost you anything to get here because you live around the corner from there. But you're paying for the date and you're paying for us to eat. The bill might be $150, for example. But both of us had to get dressed. A lot of girls like to say, I had to get my makeup. You already had that makeup, sis. Like, that just came from your closet. But for that date, I had to pay the tolls to get there. Like if I'm driving, pay the tolls to get there, gas, the mileage on my car, like all these things. Then when you get to New York, you have to pay for parking too. And if you're not trying to help me out in that way, then who really did put more effort and more money towards it? So it's just like a balance thing. Just for me, I do have that standard. The man should be the provider and the protector in that way. So that doesn't mean that you should pay all of it, but at least make sure like you at least offer, hey, I can put half towards that, or I can cover your parking when you get here or something like that. It's an investment effort wise to show that you care about that person and that you really want her to be there. Because a lot of people, like I said, they'll just think, oh, we met up in Manhattan and I paid for this, and you're not even thinking about what she put towards it.
Right. I kind of lied. See, now I'm sitting here listening and I'm thinking about some dates that I've been on, and I am realizing now that low-key I do have an expectation of like if I'm invited out on the first date, he is paying. But I'm always prepared to pay for myself. Yeah, if I end up having to pull on my to tie, most likely I'm probably not gonna go on a second date. Most likely I'm probably not gonna go on a second date.
Right.
But I'm always 110% ready, prepared to pay for myself because I'm like, whatever I order, I know I can afford it.
Same.
Yeah, my mom don't tell me I can order whatever I want and you can't afford telling me to get whatever I want.
Right. I always have my mom's voice in my head on the first few dates. Only order what I can afford so that I can have my own bill. If the guy picks me up or we get an Uber together, still make sure I have money to cover myself, or if he kicks me out the car or something, like whatever happens, I should be able to stand on my own ground, get home at least to take care of myself in that way. When it comes to dates, because now like dating as a man is expensive, like especially if you got a lot of girls that you're dating or men, whatever.
You gotta get creative.
A lot of people, you gotta get creative. So in the summer and springtime, a lot of people like to have picnics or let's go for a walk or a coffee date or whatever. Those can be fun too, but don't invite. Now I'm not looking at the money. I'm looking at the effort that you're putting in. So are we just meeting at the park, sitting on the grass and just talking, or a bench and just talking? Or did you get a blanket? Did you get some drinks for us to be able to enjoy, or water? Did you bring me a water? Did you make sure that you had enough time to go to a store with me so we can grab snacks? Like, what kind of effort did you put in? Did you bring some games to make it fun? Like, those are important. But yeah,
girl, no.
Based off of what she said, going back to what she said regarding that stuff, I think it's just like, it's a lot.
It is. It definitely is. I'm like, it's waxing nails. That's honestly my self-care for myself. Like, I don't, like how you said, like, you go ahead and surprise me and put a little something down. I know you're getting your nails done. Here's 20 towards your nails, or here's the whole thing. But I know how much your nails cost. Here's the whole thing. Or, you know, or it's a special occasion. Happy birthday, hair done, nails done, everything did. Here you go. I don't expect at all, even relationship or not, I don't expect a man for me to have to pay for the essential things that I do for myself all the time.
Right.
Unless he wants to do that. Like, it's like him throwing a little something down, or he knows I have something coming up and he puts a little money towards something. Or he knows I'm going on a little trip. Here's a little extra money for you to take on your trip or shoot. Things like that. Like, it's nice. It's the gesture. It's like and I think it's nice for him to not be expected for him to have to give me somebody to do those things. He's giving me the money because he wants to, not because it's expected of him to do so. Right. And I feel like he'll be more willing to give it to me without the expectation being put on it. Like, you have to give me money every 2 weeks to get my nails did. Especially not every 2 weeks.
Right. Because then if she falls to love this person and feel like such a connection with this person, and then it so happens that, let's not even say he lose interest in doing that, but he can't afford to do that because now that y'all have a kid, or he loses his job. Like, now people are losing their jobs left and right, getting laid off. So something happens in that way, he can't do it. Is that to the point where, well, I love you, I care for you, but deuces, you can't even do what you say is the bare minimum. Are you over that relationship now?
I can see some women doing that, which is crazy.
To me, it's crazy too.
Which is crazy, because I know some women also have the expectation, or it could be their expectation or their standard. Like, they don't want to work. Like, they are looking for a man to take care of house and home, which is fine. Like, they want to be like stay-at-home mothers. But I'm like, what if it gets to a point where that man is like really struggling and not able to give you that allowance, or however you want to call it, to give you like the money for the things that you want to do because you are not working?
Right.
Like, what do you do in that situation? Like, at this point, you married, you already started to build this lifestyle, but now that lifestyle can't be maintained because life is changing. What you gonna do then? Like, you have to figure out what you're gonna do in those situations. Food for thought.
That's a lot. There's so much more that comes to mind, but I'm like, that's another topic,
right,
for another time. But yeah, wow.
That's dorm stories, y'all.
Yeah.
Did you kick back and relax your feet for that one?
Okay. Anything else?
Actually, I do not have anything else. We can go ahead and over to the community news. It's time for announcements. It's time for announcements. It's time for announcements. It's time for announcements.
Oh. Bump my head. Sorry, guys.
Did you miss the jingle? I also add, I hope y'all that are watching the video version noticed the new transitions in between.
Oh yes,
the video. Yeah. Hope you took a little note of that. Did you see what we've been cooking up?
I hope you think we're cute.
We fine. We better than cute. We fine.
Yes.
Fine as well.
So y'all, for our February month, if you follow us, every month we have a question of the month. But if you follow us, you know that every February we have a giveaway.
Yeah.
So if you've been paying attention to our Instagram page, this year we are focusing on self-care. So we want to say thank you to the people who have partnered with us for this year's giveaway. Again, it's focusing on self-care. So we are going to be giving away our poetry book, the first one, Volume 1, LoveLoudd's poetry books. We are also giving away a self-care journal, which is our Note to Self journal. we have partnered with Cheyenne Valentine, who is giving away her adult coloring book called More Than a Coloring Book. Like, what else could it be called? More Than a Coloring Book. Let's go. Then we also have Nadir Ali, who's partnered with us to provide the winner with a copy of his poetry book, Set Me Free. Yes, Set Me Free. And then we also partner with the person who's been holding it down since the beginning.
Right, always partnership with Love Loud for the February giveaway.
Yeah, we appreciate you so much and your business so much for holding it down for our annual giveaway. Joe,
the CPO.
you like to say it because it rhymes?
No, she's the CPO.
No, I know, but you say it every time. So I'm like, you say it because it rhymes.
Yeah.
Like when people say, I can't say unique without saying love. So it's like, you can't say
Joe without saying CPO.
Right.
Keep it vertical.
Right. Of Keep It Vertical, donating or sponsoring a copy of her book, Pick Me Up to Lift Your Spirit. It's also an activity and coloring book. So you see why we chose these for self-care. So
yes.
hopefully you can win this, but there's gonna be a raffle.
Teeny bit of time left.
We have a teeny bit of time left. You have to make sure that you follow all the participants. This time is not as many participants, so that should be easy, right? Then you have to tag 3 friends in that post and also express why self-love is important to you. It doesn't have to be an essay, y'all. Just why you care for self-care, and just tag 3 people in the post and make sure that you follow all 4 of us. Love Loud, Keep It Vertical, Nadir Ali, and Cheyenne Valentine. We will. Yes, so just make sure that you look at our Instagram. We tag them. It's just easy. Click their profile. Follow them.
Yes.
And then at the end of this month, which is not far from now, we will raffle off all the people who participated and choose a winner, and then we'll mail the prize to you.
Yep, February 28th, going down. Alrighty. And for those of you that frequent our website may have noticed a little something that we did. Website is brand spanking new. Absolutely. You may have received an email. If you have not already, go ahead and check it out. Sign up for our subscription list so that you can stay tuned in what we have coming for the year 2023. All right, y'all. And shout out to our photographer.
Yes.
Derek, love you. Always hold it down.
It's so much fun.
Right.
Yes, like Derek will come to where you are and bring so much energy, joy, enthusiasm, like all the positive looks. Like he will help you, like he'll throw in some stuff, tell you like hold that pose real quick, let me get it from a different angle. Like it's just so much fun. Like I remember when we first started our first photo shoot ever, I was so scared and nervous. And Simone helped to warm me up, but also to have a photographer that I feel comfortable with and that will help you with flushing out your ideas if you need that help you bringing extra stuff if you need that. Like,
yes, hands down.
His picture sometimes I don't feel like it needs to be edited. Sometimes like,
the lighting is so good.
Yeah, it's so good.
Like what needs to be done.
Yeah, so just thank you from the bottom of our hearts, Derek, for always coming through for us, even though you live down there. You come up here to New York and make sure that we
appreciate you.
Have the pictures that we meet.
Yeah, so the photos for our podcast and the photos that you see on the website, those were all shot by him. So yes, thank you.
Yeah, we'll tag him down below. It's The Visionary, but it's some underscore somewhere in there. So we're gonna make sure that we tag him in our pictures as well as on this podcast down below. We can also drop the Instagrams for the people who are sponsoring our giveaway.
YouTube link.
Yeah.
No excuses.
Tag
somebody on YouTube and let them know.
Yes, and as always, we thank you for tuning in. We know it's been a minute since our last episodes, but We needed to break y'all. We need to make sure that we flush out this season and make sure that it makes sense.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
Thank you for tuning in. Make sure that you let other people know who like podcasts to listen to our podcast. I have been listening to other people's podcasts, and no shade, no tea, but I don't like them all. So if you know that they're gonna like a podcast like this, let them know. Just because you listen to podcasts don't mean that you're gonna like all of them.
Yes. And a little fun thing that we adding this go round to the podcast. You are so in tune with us. Go ahead and send us a review. Now you can write one up and send it via DM. But we would love to hear your voice. If it's to give us a review or add your opinion on something that we are talking about, we're going to put the link below directly to our Anchor dashboard. All you gotta do is hit message. And you can record a message up to a minute directly from your phone.
Yeah.
That one more time. You're gonna click the link below. It's gonna take you to our Anchor dashboard. You're gonna scroll down, hit message. You're gonna record up to 1 minute, just showing us some love, answering a question, letting us know what y'all like about the podcast, and we will add y'all into the show.
Yes, I look forward to that.
Yes, we want to add y'all into the experience. So something that we are looking forward to this season. So go ahead, do that. Click the little like.
Other than that, we thank you again for tuning into our podcast. Let us know either through message or message.
Right.
What you think of our podcast. We look forward to being in your ears bi-weekly, having on special guests, having on guest poets, and doing the damn thing.
Yeah, this is just episode 1 of season 4. Like every single
49.
week, the next few months. This is episode 49. Next one is gonna be episode 50. Episode 50. Yes, I'm really excited. I'm really excited that we have been keeping this going. This is season 4. Like we've talked about this in previous seasons about how we're excited to continue to grow and glow and do our thing. And honey, y'all better be ready. We gonna knock your socks off this season. Y'all need to be ready for what we about to throw down. All right, what we whipping up. Okay,
like we're full of toddlers now in the podcast world.
Yeah.
So excited.
And the next time y'all see us, my birthday would have passed. My birthday would have passed by the next episode, and we would have went to New Orleans.
It's okay, baby. But stay stoned. I said stay stoned.
Stay stoned.
Say
she wants you to stay high.
No, I don't. I don't promote that. Thank y'all for watching and listening.
Yeah.
We'll be back in your ears in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Stay black.
Stay proud.